Anyway, so I'm representing the consortium of the IOPAN team with Taco and Izabela from different organizations. The reason why we have this consortium is that I'm going to share some thoughts about the knowledge, how we deal with data, how we deal with information. This is based on our cooperation on different occasions. We had a panel organized during the Co-Data conference in Seoul. We also had a panel discussion during the IGF in Katowice last December. And we normally run a number of workshops, and we had an interesting discussions yesterday during our side event, and all of these contribute to my thoughts about how we deal with the data, how we deal with knowledge, and how we should or can transfer it so that the society is happy with us and understands the changes. So we're living in the era of ocean decade, and one of the most important issues is that the decade will raise awareness on the truly global dimension of the ocean. Economic services demonstrating well-being affects people locally and globally. So here we have an indication that in order for people to have a proper well-being locally and globally, they need to understand what the relation with the ocean is and what ocean can offer to them and how they cannot harm the ocean on the regular basis. So hence we're talking about a balance between the ocean and the people. The expected outcomes of the decade, I will just concentrate on the last one: transparent and accessible ocean to stakeholders, citizens across the world, but they need ocean data and information technologies, and we have to be able to properly provide this information to them so that they can inform decision makers and actually have the real impact on the change. We hope for the best of the change, of course. But if so, they need to have knowledge. And there are, of course, numerous definitions of knowledge, but for the purpose of this talk, I would say that this is a very helpful definition, that knowledge is sort of like a combination of all these aspects. So that's data, information, experience, context, and application. And here comes the problem. Very often, we, the researchers, do not really pay much attention to some of these aspects, that is people's experience. We do not really concentrate on context. Application, sometimes we just forget about it, that when we produce data, when we produce information, we need to have some sort of like applicable end of our knowledge or information transfer. So we very often forget about that people need some sort of like insight into the information. They need to have the critical thinking triggered, because otherwise they will look for fake information, which is very often the case, unfortunately. We also very often forget about the holistic approach of our information. Very often we provide our very own information that is very often very limited type of information, and people are sort of lost because they do not see the reference, they don't see the context, they don't see the application, they just see numbers, for example. Numbers that are very important, but without the context and without the application, they can be misunderstood by regular people, by citizens. Well, sustainability is also one of the key expressions for this discussion. The simple principle is that what we do now should not affect the future generations in every aspect. And the holistic approach to sustainable development implies an integrated achievement of all these three aspects: the economic, environmental, and social goals of development. There are 17 goals. The 17th is the integration of all the goals. So if we do not look at it holistically, if we do not really think in terms of all the goals, then our information again may be misunderstood or lost in the noise of information that is available all over the internet, for example. UNESCO is very much supporting the sustainability science and sustainability in general, the philosophy of sustainability. And what do we have? We have to contribute to academic and policy agendas, strengthening capacities through innovative research programming, connecting research to the social imagination through the development of environmental humanities. So there's a very direct combination of us, the researchers, and the social imagination. We need to find some sort of a way to transfer what we do and translate it to people so that they can really understand that. We have very little time, so it's a really brief discussion of a very broad topic, I would say. So how to tackle the changes? We need the changes in our perception of knowledge transfer, of promoting research and research results. Some hints from the discussions that I had with our colleagues, from the discussions we had with our participants of the events. So definitely the diverse team gives the most value. It's not the 19th century with one leader who makes all the decisions. We need interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary studies, because then we can actually see the broad picture, the full picture, the holistic approach. We have to understand, the researchers have to understand that our own research is, let's say, not the center of the universe. We need to be part of a wider picture. Proper communication of results, I guess it's the key. Well, we can summarize it with education, but not only the school education, it's on every level, including us, the researchers. And okay, and one of the simple examples how to do it is the citizen science. You know the definition. Okay, so just a simple example of Project Smartfin that our group in IOPAM is involved in that. So the citizen science can be dedicated to the general society or a dedicated group. In this case, we are talking about surfers across the world. They get a simple meter that collects water temperature in their fin. That's why it's the Project Smartfin. And they produce information from their fun activities. And in the institute, we got involved in that. We don't really have much data, but please notice, in this project, we produce the data and we share the information with a wider society without basically doing gigantic project research. And I understand that I don't have much more time, so I'll close with that. And I'm open for discussions. I'm available here and respond to the questions at the end of the session. Thank you very much.